Now when you go to unplug this side, don't just pull the plug out. If it has a little twist, do that. Feel around for any loose parts under the soap, because if you got a real small one that got loose and you just open the drain like this, you just lost it. So as you can see, the green sponge down here is definitely a good thing. A little dirty there, I guess. But yeah, so all these are now scrubbed and degreased for the most part. Some of these smaller pieces here still have a bit of grease on them that I just couldn't get rid of. So what I'm going to do is another round of soaking. I'll let it sit there for a couple hours. And at that point, once I feel like getting back to them, I'll just pull them out of the bath, rinse them off. I'm not going to scrub them a second time. It's definitely more important to get really large surfaces grease-free. But these smaller ones, the insides, well, you can probably get away with it because they are so small. So I'll catch up with you in a minute. Okay, and for any small parts that did break free, keep them in your silverware pan, and maybe you'll be able to fit them in here somewhere. Let's see if I can do that. This will just help keep them in one place nice and organized. You definitely don't want them to break or get loose. Of course, you don't want to break any of the plastic that's already in there while you're doing this too. One thing I definitely recommend is removing the stairs for cleaning. These are of such a shape and so few that you're not really going to lose track of them, and you can't mistake them for anything else. When the directions call for part 51 and show a stair, you know what it is. But if part 51 is like some weird little random twisted piece of plastic, and there's several different kinds of those, well, then you got a little problem. So I'm going to reorganize all this so I can fit that silverware dish in there, and leave it for a few hours and come back later. Okay, so all the parts here have been sitting in the drying rack for a little while now. Basically after I think I left it with everything soaking in soap at the far end over there. So I drained all that off, rinsed everything off, put it back in a clean tub of water there. Just plain, no soap, no nothing. Let it soak and let all the any excess soap kind of go away. After all of that, the first things I had told you about for tools to have handy for this part was some soap, sponge, scrub pad, and an electric toothbrush. Here's where the electric toothbrush comes in handy at long last. So after those two soaks, plus the sponges and all the washing, this piece here is still kind of greasy. So what I was initially thinking is that I could take sponge on one side and kind of do that trick on this side. However, this is really delicate stuff. Therefore, put a little soap on your toothbrush, a little bit of water. Definitely brace the part and start cleaning. Don't use any force at all, just let the weight of the toothbrush do everything. And let the motor of the toothbrush do all the work for you too. You can do both sides here. Usually I use this trick on resin models where the details on the surface are just too delicate to risk with even a sponge. And in this case, this is going to work out perfectly. The seats got nice and degreased. Just these rails that didn't. Let's see how this turned out here. Yep, grease is all gone at long last. So what the sponges couldn't do, what the soaking for almost 2 hours couldn't do, electric toothbrush does in just about 1 minute. So definitely be real careful when you're getting all the soap off of these parts. This is really delicate stuff, and I'm trying not to use any force here at all. And when I am using force, I've got both sides pretty much equally pinched down. And that is that. So with all these parts here, I'm going to rebag a few and basically get everything reorganized. All told, see, I definitely pulled the stairs off on purpose. 2, 4, 6. There's maybe 10 pieces here that fell off by scrubbing. They were kind of loose to begin with, and it's not unexpected to have parts fall loose in a model kit during shipping either. So this is nothing to worry about at all. As long as you keep your parts that fall off minimized as much as possible, you're definitely in good shape. And the more distinct a part is, like the stairs or these transparent domes, the easier it is going to find it in the directions. So next up, I think we're going to be dealing with all the tools you need to start building this thing. So I'll catch you in a little bit. Here's one more useful tool. Standard Ziploc bag. A couple different sizes are handy to have. I'm going to put all these small components that fell off into the bag once those actually dry. So there's a few more trees here that still got a little water on them, so I'm going to let them take their time. You know, everyone says this model doesn't go in the box very well once you actually take it out, but if you leave the hull out of there, it fits really great with a lot of room. Maybe some of the parts shrunk in the wash.